Using the app CMS filters, we will recreate this filter. Let's try the demo version first. I can search for a keyword with. Great. I can filter on a single reference CMS collection. For example, these are blog posts. Each of the blog posts has a single author. I can select author and it will filter it out for me. Our filter also supports multi-reference field, so each of the blog posts can have multiple tags. So I'll select a tag to filter by it. Great. Before we build this filter, let's review the CMS structure. Here I have the blog posts, and each of the blog posts has a single reference field called author. It has a multi-reference field called tags. These are the two fields that we are using here to create the filter. Let's start. I'll create a new page. To put the filter in, I'll create a section, and then inside this section I'll create a container. The default container width is 940 pixels. I'll just make it wider to 1400 pixels so we have more room to work with. Great. Let's open the CMS filter app. The app has only 3 tabs. First one is settings, second one is tutorials, and the third one is feedback. If you need help specifically on different types of filters, you can check out the documentation. The documentation has installation guide and then 3 different examples that you can copy from. So a filter with sidebar, a filter with top navigation, a filter with search bar. In this demo, we'll recreate this exact filter which have a single reference and then a multi-reference and a search field. So I'll go to the settings page. The first step is to copy the template. As you can see, the steps are outlined here. I'll click copy template, and then on my container I'll paste it using my keyboard Ctrl V. You can see a skeleton was pasted. So before we connect all of the items to our CMS fields, I'll go to the step 2. I can hit next here, or I can directly click on filters. So here you can see all of the fields are visible by default, but I don't want this top bar. I want everything else. So what I'll do is filter buttons. I'll disable this and make sure I have the filter layer selected, which is this one, not my container. And then if I hit update here, you will see the top bar is removed. On the last screen, which is called pagination, if I go to the last screen here, you can control how many items you want per row and how many total items you want to show at the same time. These settings can be changed afterwards. For example, the row items, number of items per row, you can control it using designer CSS settings from the right hand side. Okay, I'll close my app. I'll select the primary collection that we want to filter on, which will be the center collection list right here. I'll click here and then click the settings button and then select blog posts. For the images, I'll collect the blog post thumbnail image. For the title, I'll connect the blog post title, so name. Great. And for this one right here, I can connect the author name. If you need, you can add as many HTML items here. Since this is just a regular webflow CMS collection, you can add any number of HTML elements and then connect them to your CMS fields. That's up to you. Alright, we are done with the connecting the main collection. Let's connect the sidebar items. So here I'll rename this to authors, and then the collection item should be the authors collection item, and then each of these items should be the author name. So here there's no option to click settings icon, so I'll have to go to the settings tab, and then under text I'll connect it to author name. Great. So to connect this section right here to reference this author right here, we'll have to do one more change. So if I click on the general area of the right hand side, and then let me zoom in so we can see better. In the sidebar there should be a reference field. So there's 3 reference fields by default. We will need 2 here, so since we have only 2 collections, so this one and this one. So let me select the first reference right here. The class name doesn't matter here. What's important is the custom attribute. So you can rename this or keep it as is, but since these are authors, I'll rename this to be authors. Authors. I'll copy that, and then in the text here I'll make sure these are coming from author and then name. Okay, so this name can be anything, but what you select here is important. Okay, so This is reference to authors, and then I'll go back to my authors section on the sidebar. Click any of the items, and then if I go to the custom attributes, I'll have to make sure this is also authors. Okay, that's all we need to do. So if I review the sidebar items, have a custom attribute called flow app CMS filter field, and it has the value of authors. This same attribute needs to be added in the CMS collection, your main collection, and then reference right here. Alright, I'll do the same for this multi-reference field. Click on settings and then choose tags, and then for each of the single individual items, this will be tag name. And then for the reference field, I'll select here tags. Great. Now I need to connect this in the reference inside the main collection. So I'll click in the general area, scroll down. There's another reference field which has a CMS collection inside it. I'll open it. Let me connect it to tags, and then I'll open the single item right here that is inside the collection item, and then connect it to tag name. Also make sure the reference is to tags. Great. If I now hit publish and then visit the page here, great. Let's try out search first. I'll search for CMS. Does all of this has CMS in their name? Yeah, they do. Let's try another word. I'll try with. Yeah, the search is working. Let me try a author name. Great, author name is also working. Let me try the multi-reference tags. The tags filter is also working. Great. If you need help setting up a filter, you can always reach out to us. Also, if you have any feedback for us, how we can improve our app, you can use the feedback tab on our right here.